So I'll just wait for this thing to populate and we'll get it rolling. Just want to make sure this this goes. All right. Let's see. Just want to make sure it's playing here. I think it's already live, but I always want to make sure before I start talking into the abyss, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
All right, we're good. So welcome back to your favorite comedy finance channel. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. I have, one of our community partners here, Jesus founder, Maker.Lee. Before we got started, and I know we kept you guys waiting, but we were talking about the madness between both of these communities. I've gotten the alert from Maker that a lot of MYC people are buying a lot of Jesus tokens. And when he was talking to me about this, I was like, wait, they're doing that to your side too? Because I'm not even top holder anymore. There's several Jesus whales that have gobbled up MYC, and now it's happening vice versa. And to be really honest with you guys, we both come from the truther community, and I feel like this is a good synergy on both sides. So how you been, Maker? Update us, man. What's going on?
I've been well. Thank you for asking. Been working, busy. Trying to keep the lights on. That's really where we're at. It's a fun season. It's like getting close to the holidays because we're coming up to the big burn for the Jesus Coin project. Trying to arrange. I was chatting with a party planner earlier today because the community was like, are we doing a party? I was like, well, if you guys want a party, sure, I guess. So they're throwing a party, so I'm helping with that, and it's like finding a venue, book. It's a lot. So
here's what you got to do: don't take a head count. Just be like, hey, this is where it's gonna be.
Yes.
This is the date. This is the time, and go there.
Just show up.
No, and just show up. Yeah, exactly.
I'll bring some communion wine. It'll be great.
Yeah, everybody just drunk on wine a little bit.
Literally, I was debating too. I was like, because I know some some people are like more accepting, some people are less accepting. So I'm like, I have no idea, guys. I can't tell you what to do.
No, you just come as you are. That's
yeah.
It.
See, there you
come
go.
As you are, and be you. And
there you go.
Have a good time. I'm excited, for both of our communities. I've just seen a good synergy between both sides, and I'm just really happy that it kind of happened this way. Whenever a token barely comes out, there's so much politics. I know it happened a lot with Jesus. It happened with my token. But everything's like coming together in such a way where it's like it's unfounded. You know what I mean? I really see a lot of miraculous things, and I really want to thank you guys. I definitely would like to be part of the marketing team a bit, if I can. I've been making some like badass memes. I made like a cyber arc just recently.
Yeah, you sent some of those over. Yeah. Super cool.
So let's talk about Jesus real quick. So for those people that are brand new, okay, where could we find Jesus? I personally feel like best place is always MetaMask, but let's go through this view for somebody like that's brand new.
All right. So first thing you're going to want to do is, Twitter's great because then you'll at least see like the ongoing conversation, and then you'll see the website, jesuscoin.xyz. So then you'll find the contract. There's a link there. You can swap or you can copy paste the contract. Always, DD or DYOR, DYOR, do your diligence, whatever. It's late, guys. We're struggling already. Exactly. And that's it, really. The Telegram is popping like crazy. The Telegram, honestly, I'm impressed with the community for keeping it running. Because it's like it's all community mods. Nobody's on payroll. Nobody's on staff. I'm not getting paid, and everybody keeps showing up every day. The coolest thing is 7 days a week. Twitter live spaces run by the community. So 6 days are hosted by other community members. I host the Sunday service on Sunday, and you can just come hang out.
What time do you do that?
That is 7 p.m. Central Time on Sundays. Yep.
I should be able to make that one. I'll come to this Sunday.
Yeah.
Make it. I'm sure you retweet. I'm gonna see it, right? Like when you're on space.
I will yes, I retweet it. I join from my personal my Maker.Lee Twitter, and then I host it, like I speak from the Jesus tokens. Which I wish we could have gotten Jesus coin, like at Jesus
I
coin.
didn't.
But
Okay, so you manage that. Okay, I didn't know you managed that account. Okay, so I'll follow that.
yes.
No, I didn't know, because I see so many. I mean,
Yes.
you guys are everywhere.
So
like, you know.
it's crazy. So I finally got to the point where I couldn't handle it all myself, and people were like, "Yo, why aren't you doing this? Why aren't you?" I'm like, "I can't. It's only one person." So now we have two people managing it. Another whale who's been there since April was like, "Yo, I would love to help manage this." So now you have two people managing it. So most of the time, I mean, honestly, most of the time it's not me, but sometimes it is me.
See, look, here's the problem. Like a lot of people. Okay, so as an admin, and I always like to go over this with a lot of different people because, unfortunately, there's not a lot of admins that will kind of share their experience or share their story. So that way, investors or traders could get that inside view. And it's so important to realize that an admin only has so much bandwidth, you can't do it by yourself. Now, in the very beginning, there's a lot of things the admin could do to solidify what the brand is and solidify what the community will be, but after that's established, and this typically happens pretty fast, but like after that's established, it then comes to other committed parties, that will create that community. I mean, really, all you need is like a good solid 10, 20 people, and then everybody else is slowly magnifies how many people be those core members.
Yep.
So, always remember that, to assist, and that's what I like about, speaking of that, you got your guys' distribution is awesome. So, that's another thing. Everyone has an equal incentive or a pretty fair incentive to contribute to the project or contribute to the community. So I think distribution is also very important to take a look at too, because it's like, you really think about a lot of the different meme coins out there that are already very high in market cap, or even on the utility side, you look at utility tokens, a lot of them are very high in market cap. And in order for you to get, even 0.5% or 1%, it's a lot of money to do that. So when you're taking a look at projects that are from the ground level, the opportunity for you is a lot larger than you just going to some random project where typically, some of these admins, they think it's fair for 20, 30, 40% of the whole thing, and, that's just not the way it works. I mean, when you want to have a community, you want to have community incentive. For like everyone to share that bandwidth,
Yeah. It's interesting because you think through like some of the massive runners of like Sheeb for sure, Doge for sure, where you have, and Floki, you have crazy insiders who are just like essentially holding 60% of the supply, maybe in the top 3 wallets. And then you have any new DAO token or whatever, or utility token that comes through, you have a fat like percentage for VCs. You have the team, and then maybe some vesting or whatever that's like pushed through. So it's like I just pulled up the Blur token for the Blur exchange, and it's like the number one holder is 35%. It's not listed. I don't know if it's an exchange. It could be. It's probably the vesting. Then the next one is 29. The next one is 10. Then OKX is 4. So it's like everything. That's just how it goes. I was actually looking through. Oh, what was I looking through? Suka, that dragon meme coin. Which honestly had a lot of, I think they were the wrong time. And their distribution is awful. Awful. Where it's like, why would anyone buy into, you're just buying like someone else's bags because they have 20, 15, 10, 30%, whatever.
Yeah. No, I mean, that's kind of the big, I was talking to the guys about this earlier today. I was like, because I come from the utility side, and also, we spent the last 6 months, also buying different meme coins. We did very well with Jesus. We actually have a lot of Jesus whales. We also have a lot of people that just support the project, whether they're holding the project or not. It's just like Jesus, the mission is important to us because we come from that,
Yeah.
And I always like how you guys say there's 2.2 billion Christians in the world.
Yeah.
So it's a very adoptable token, and
yes,
of its kind. So like, the movement and the message can be real. And if you already have an emerging market in the crypto economy, there's going to be a topic for every single thing in the world. So some people, they look at these different topics and they say, well, this can't be a real coin because this has to do with religion. Oh, this can't be a real coin because this has to do with, whatever industry it is. It could be, plastic material type of coin, whatever. But I think what a lot of people are missing is that everything could be tokenized.
Yes.
So, that tokenization of everything is what's ultimately going to bring together a collective that will bring confidence to that specific currency and create an adoption between a microeconomy. And that's what you guys do. You're a microeconomy. That network wealth is what allows you to bless a lot of people. It allows you to pay for different things that you might need, like maybe events, maybe marketing sometimes, or, maybe somebody needs food. It could be anything. So I think a lot of people are missing the boat that don't feel where you can't be involved with something simply because let me take that back. You can't envision a success or failure based on your own bias on whether or not you're top. Because there's a market for everything.
Yes, right? That's great. I want to ask you a question. What do you think about the Reddit moon fiasco? Were you keeping up to date with that, with Reddit's crypto?
No, go ahead and.
Okay. So this is what happened. Reddit, I don't know, maybe a year and a half ago, 2-ish years, who knows? We'll call it 2 years. Has been exploring crypto tokenization, digital collectibles. So like they were calling NFTs digital collectibles, and like slowly and steadily, they were adding in. So like the avatars were actually NFTs. It wasn't just a PFP. And then they started adding in where you could basically be rewarded for having a viral post. So it's like, they can like something or upvote on Reddit. The upvotes and like these special awards that you could give were actually currency. So then the currency then became traded. So it's like there was a liquidity pool, like you could trade it. Last week, they literally announced, they're like, guys, we're going to sunset out like the front end. You can't use these anymore. And everyone's like, you're Reddit. You can't just like be $1 billion company, drop a crypto and then say, JK, we don't want to do it anymore. But it's so interesting because what you're saying, it's like communities will be tokenized. Reddit was like ahead of the game so much, and yet they're pulling out early.
See, I think a lot of this has to do with like education and experience too. I think a lot of developers out there that, maybe their heart was in the right place, but because they were so new to the idea of trying to create something, or maybe they, there's already common, sayings like where a dev rage quits, or, a dev gets too afraid to be there, like there's so much things that an admin could go through. So, I can understand the pressure, but at the same time, it's like, take the pressure off yourself and focus yourself on community effort, because you could be the leader in some sort of sense, but at the same time, as a leader, you need to delegate. You want to delegate different things based on who's interested. Maybe you're the first guy that loves everything and you're going to take it to the moon, right? But what if you inspire somebody else that wants to take the ride with you? Then now you got a partner there, you got a partner here, and then you collectively network with different communities. Look at us, I didn't think I was gonna, be your friend. I didn't think I didn't realize that I was gonna be talking to you a lot, but somehow, God just puts things together.
Exactly.
I'm very passionate about Jesus. I'm a rooted believer. I come from a very long line of pastors. My mom and my dad, they're pastors. My grandfather before that. We have a very long line. And so I don't know what happened to me. So if you guys have questions about that, you tell me. I don't know. But at the same time, I just kind of love how everything's just, fusing together from our communities. So I appreciate everything, and I'll do whatever I can to to help on your side. You know, I feel like I'm a good marketer, so I could definitely help there. You know, and I make really cool JPEGs.
Yes, that's facts. That's true. It's so funny too. So I'll touch on that a little bit, where it's like we went the whole, I don't know, 5 months, 4.5 months with no partnerships. I mean, in my opinion, in my eyes, everything was organic. I had no idea that behind the scenes, whales are like throwing like stacks and stacks to pay for things. So that was fun. And then, you know, probably end of the 4th month, a project hits me up. They're like, hey, we want to do a collab. And I'm like, we haven't done any collabs, but sure, I'll talk with you. I'm always down to talk to anyone. Like, I have there's no reason for me to hate anyone. You know, the Bible literally calls us to love our enemies anyways. So it's like, I have no enemies. And at the end of the day, I was like, yeah, let's have the conversation. And it made sense, had some good, seemingly kind of co-synergy things. Ended up being a complete disaster. And I was like, okay, guys, I'm not publicly ever doing this ever again. So, but that's what's funny with this, where it's like, it is organic. It's not like we're like, oh, let's pump, like, you know what I mean? Like, let's join forces. We're pumping. This is a thing.
Yeah, and we just kind of like flew in there. I kind of don't remember how it even happened.
Exactly.
Like, flew in there. But see, the thing is you inspired me to become a sappy SEAL. You know, I like your sappy in the suit. You know, and
thank you.
You absorbed that character so well.
Thank you. Did you see my picture? I went to NFT NYC or NFT or our Basel last year, and I dressed up like my SEAL. It was great. It was great.
You're gonna have to retweet that one.
I was the only one in costume for it was the Sappy SEAL party.
That is funny.
Let me see if I can find it.
So, you know, I was talking about Jesus Community and MYC earlier today with one of our developers, and I was like, man, it's kind of crazy how like you know, things just kind of come together and kind of merge out a little bit. And I was telling him, I was like, you know, I feel like since trying to put this together to begin with, like, I feel like right now we're establishing, you know, but, you know, that come up to start things, you know, there's so much work involved, you know? And I was like, man, you know, it's a lot, you know, it's like this uphill battle, you know, and then he started talking about the book of Job. And you know, I thought that was an awesome story to share. So I posted that in our Telegram. And, you know, it's just amazing to see so many different communities persevere. And, you know, going back to what I was talking about, again, for the distribution thing, you know, when you have a fair distribution, it's in everybody's best incentive, not just one person. That's the best part of decentralization. The US dollar right now, 99% of the supply is in the admin's hands. Okay. And I love using, you know, crypto analogy to give you an idea of how bad we're getting scammed here. But in the real world, we're sharing the entire population 1% of the wealth, while the elites share 99%.
Yep.
So when you're coming into these ecosystems that have a fair distribution, that's, you know, people got maybe 1%, 2%, maybe less than 1%, and it's all distributed fairly. Everyone has a shared incentive. And I'm telling you today, you'll make more money, and it doesn't matter what coin it is. When you're talking about just straight tokenomics, this is talk about straight tokenomics. If you have a fair distribution between your community and everyone has a fair incentive to win, you are going to make more money in that project than any project out there. Okay, it doesn't matter if it's utility, doesn't matter if it's meme. You know, when you have fair distribution, you're gonna do well together. You know, and it's far more rewarding than it would be going to another let's say some of these blue chips. You know? Some blue chip companies or these blue chip utility tokens. They got like 40-50%.
Yes.
And you're sharing 40%. So, you know, you're working. Think about this. Every token, if you're an investor or a trader and you're a shiller, you know, any of you guys are licensed to shill, you know, any of you guys, you're working nonstop, you're outreaching, you're marketing, you're doing all these things. That same amount of work you put in for something you're bullish on is always going to be the same amount of work everywhere else you put it in, right?
Yes.
So if that's the case, and you're going to get the same work, you should be seeking out the one that's going to provide the most yield. And the most yield is always going to be found in fair distribution. And that's why we're in this world, guys. Like, we're in the decentralized world to get out of this majority rule type of centralization in the monetary system. So, you know, don't forget that part.
Dude, that's crazy. It's so funny because I'm like, by nature, I'm not a conspiracy theorist. By nature, I'm just like middle of the ground, let it happen. Let me just live on an island by myself and like I'll be fine.
Cabin in the woods?
I'm more of a beach guy. If a cabin on the beach, I'll take a cabin on the beach.
No, I know, but have you seen the movie Cabin in the Woods?
This is with Sandra Bullock? Or no, that's something else.
No, this is the one where like there were people pressing buttons and like bad stuff was happening to the cabin, like monsters and all that.
Oh, this sounds awful. This sounds dreadful.
You know, long story short, you remind me of this guy that's in. I mean, I don't know if you smoke, but you know, this guy happened to be a stoner, but he was like whatever about everything. You know, so it just reminded me.
No, I don't smoke. Fun fact. Well, no, I won't publicly disclose that. It was a one-time occurrence. I'll say that.
I smoke, unfortunately.
Mistakes were made. No. Okay. Wait, what was I saying? Not a conspiracy theorist. But when I start, it's so funny, like when you're open to everything, you start hearing things from both sides, but then like the truth starts to stand out. And so like you're saying in terms of the decentralization and thinking through of like, there could come a point in the future where you only transact with members within your same community, where it's like, I'm buying a good with Jesus coin here. I'm selling a good here to pay for rent. Like this truly could become a future like that. And I think that's when they put a ceiling on what's possible with a project now in 2023 and reality. And like, well, in 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, what is going to happen with like AI and with the blockchain and decentralization and the government? Who knows?
Yeah.
And making those long-term, like, basically wagers or bets now, it's like it's almost too easy. Like it's a no-brainer.
See, I mean, for me, it's network wealth. You know,
yes.
When you have a collective community wealth, you know, you stay more powerful, and that collective wealth is ultimately going to help you in the future.
Yep.
A lot of people, you know, and I understand the lone wolf ideology, you know, but in the crypto world, that's really only going to get you so far. There's only so many trades you're going to get lucky with until, you know, you start going backwards. And eventually it's not sustainable. So, you know, you always want to have your own native community that you stick to. And it works no differently than the bank. Like right now, and a variety of other tokens, like, you know, a lot of people, like, you know, they'll say, oh, well, you know, there's too many tokens and maybe there's not enough liquidity in the pool, or, you know, something's in infancy, there's not enough liquidity. Okay, well, you know, as you start to do more research and you start to, you know, increase your education on the crypto sector, your liquidity pool and your tokens, like a lot of people, they could be MetaMask rich, but again, there's so much liquidity that's going to be coming in over the years into that pool. So you shouldn't predicate what's possible based on the pool today, because today is not going to be the pool in a year. It's going to be a larger pool. So, you know, if you're looking at reserves, let's say you want to look at it this way, then the bank is just as guilty. You know, your bank is a way to show you that essentially you're MetaMask rich. You have dollars as credit to extract from the bank. But as you guys can see, there's a lot of banks that are becoming insolvent, or they're collapsing. They need to be bailed out. And it's because there's not enough liquidity in there for how much tokens, or not tokens, but fiat is being taken out. You know, so because of these things, it actually works. It lasts longer when everyone isn't just like taking everything out. You know, if you elongate the lifespan, the pool's going to get larger and larger and larger, and it will be able to account for more people that need to withdraw from that pool whenever they actually do need it. If everyone has a collective mindset on this, where they only take what they need, take what makes you comfortable, that pool is going to grow astronomically larger and be forever wealth for you and your community network. And that's the bigger opportunity that a lot of people are missing. These work exactly like the bank, guys. Exactly like.
That's a great point. And like real world example, the Jesus coin liquidity pool from May till now has doubled in ratio. So At 20 mil market cap, there was like 1 million in liquidity. Now we're at 9 mil market cap. Now there's 1 million in liquidity. So it's like literally a couple months, it's already doubled. Who knows what's going to happen with a lot of these projects in 6 months, a year, like, and now you have more buyers. It's not only do you have more liquidity, but you also have more buyers coming into the industry. So it's like, sometimes I get very excited. And sometimes I got to reel it in.
Well, to piggyback off of that, again, this is the way the tokens scale over time as long as you stick around.
Yes.
So, that pool is going to grow. And going back to the distribution percentage, guys, today, the pool may be worth, 100K or 500K or whatever today, right? And you understand the circulation of tokens out there. That pool today is not a representation of what it'll be in the future. And we have a monstrous 2 years to go through. The bulls cycle just started. So, and I've been telling a lot of people this, that I've been saying the same thing. Like, how you react to this market in the next 2 years is going to determine your lifestyle for the next 10 years. Because, I mean, personally, now is the time to buy, hold long, market. One more thing before I forget. I don't want it to lose. I don't want it to let go. Your distribution percentage.
Yes.
Protect your token count. If you're protecting your token count and your token percentage allocation, okay? So if you got 1%, let's say, and you hold that, okay? That 1% is 1% of that pool. So maybe the pool today is 500K, but in 2 years, what if the pool is $2 million? Now you have 1% of $2 million. Like, think about it like that. And that's the whole point of protecting your token counts and not being impatient for what tokens scale to be over time.
Yeah.
All of them, birth and then grow in a process.
Yes, exactly. It's I had a great thought and I totally just completely spaced on it. It's okay. No, it's okay. It's okay. It's good. It's good. Liquidity. Yes, liquidity. Oh, this is what I wanted to say. Yes, talking about long-term investments. Like, there are people. So again, just because I have these examples, so I want to use them, where it's like the locked LP on Jesus Coin started with 9 ETH. It was like 12, 9 times 12, 18 grand. I don't know, 15 grand. Who knows? Started with 9 ETH. That pool, like that position, has earned $150,000 in fees since launch. And that's one person supplying 9 ETH. So then what happens if you have 9 people supplying 1 ETH spread for 9 months? Like, I think that's the game changer where you see a lot of these. There was a token called Bald that was like the first base meme coin on Base. And it was the rumor is a notorious like grifter launched it. Anyways, it was a massive rug. But he was throwing liquidity like clips, where it was like the liquidity would go from like 100K to like 3 mil and then down to 50K. Like, so he was like playing with the pool. But that type of volatility comes when the liquidity pool fluctuates. But for holders who want to be like bullish long term on something, it's almost like the more conviction you have in something, the better it's going to go. And obviously you could get wrecked in something, do your own, what was I saying? BYODD, bring your own DD.
Research.
Yeah, exactly.
Way off on that one.
Yeah, way off.
Don't forget, we can go to 0 by tonight. Okay, don't ever forget it, okay?
Man.
It's safe out there no matter what you're touching,
Yes, please.
But again, personally, I'm heavy conviction right now. I went through the last 2 years,
Yeah.
If you were here for the last 2 years and you see what's going on now, you're ultra mega bullish, especially if you've been here for more than one cycle.
Yes.
That's
the euphoria on the timeline last week when we hit like, Bitcoin 34K and ETH pumped. That's like nothing. That is a glimpse of what the bull market euphoria hits when you have normies. Like, literally, the good news is, okay, this is financial advice. This is actually financial advice. When your grandma at the grocery store is talking to you about a meme coin, that is the top. You need to sell.
Yeah, exactly. We're like somebody like the grocery store guy, you know.
Literally, like your bagger. He's like, yeah, man, have you heard about the sheep coin? I heard. Like, no.
Yeah, that would be fun.
Because it's always too. It's like, what if it goes to $1? I have 10 trillion sheep. All it has to do, and you're like, do you do any math on market cap at all?
Yeah, exactly.
Golly. Did you, I know you guys just launched. Let me pull up your chart so I can see when. When did you guys launch? Last week? 2 weeks ago?
The 12th.
The 12th. Honestly, 2 weeks in this market still remaining and thriving is an accomplishment. So well done. You gotta hop on. You gotta submit to it's marketcapof.com, and you can like compare market caps of like if my coin goes to what Doge was at all-time highs, and it really makes you feel good inside. You just send him an email. That's all it is.
Oh, really? Okay. Cool.
Yeah, it's super easy.
Yeah. So I'll get that done. All right. Yeah. Thanks for the alpha there. You know.
Yes.
I'm new to crypto, so I
All good.
But yeah, man, it's been awesome. You know, I felt like we went through a lot of tribulations. You know, I felt like we got like attacked. You know, I felt like we got really attacked when we were trying to put something together, and you know, it riled me up, man. Like, I'm very stubborn. You know, if I you know get too many barriers in front of something, you know, I really go into hyper mode. You know.
Isn't that funny? Because their goal is to tear you down, but in reality, it just like builds you up to be more passionate.
Exactly, you know, and I feel like that's what really drove me even harder, because it was less like, you know, I'm not ever going to stop being a builder because, you know, there's bad actors or there's people that, you know, are, you know, maybe just malice, whatever the case may be. You know, so we could always outwork any sort of issue, you know, and I'm very proud of our community, and I think a lot of people have taken note of how well, you know, MYC community holds.
Yeah.
It's really, I mean, it's unfounded, you know. I like
it is. It's Milady level conviction.
Yeah, I swear we're not a cult for real.
Yeah.
We're really not. We're really not. You know, it's just the Mega Yacht cult was, I don't know where I came up with it. I just kind of like when I first started, you know, because we're comedy finance. You know, we still want to have fun, and we still.
Wait, is that what MYC stands for?
Mega Yacht Cult.
Oh, from the beginning, that's what it's always stood for?
Yes.
That's great. I'm literally discovering this. Oh, and I know the token. I see it in front of me, and yet I didn't know that was.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah, and that's ultimately what got us started. We were comedy finance, except like comedy to me was kind of like a tragedy because you know I was analytics, and I was, you know, forecasting the economy and, you know, talking jokes about the different elite and then showing different things. So like my channel was like 90% truther and like 10% crypto, and a lot of people liked it, you know, because I was always saying funny things like Jerome Bowles or, you know, Brad the Garlic House came from me. You know, wife changing, that came from me. Okay. Going past Uranus, I mean, what was there's like a bunch of them. Robert Teriyaki, Peter Shaft, you know, a lot of these, you know, inside jokes.
They're great.
But, you know, I'm happy that we've been running together for 4 years, you know, a lot of our community members, you know, and I feel like that longevity together is really what made us so strong together, because it's like it's just a bunch of random, you know, outsiders. I mean, yeah, we're taking on a lot of new members and they're catching the vibe. But at the same time, like the majority of our community is made up of people that have been together for 4 years. So, you know, that unification is definitely there.
Have you do you have plans to integrate like the MYC token into the odd app?
Yes. The only issue with that right now is like I have the framework set up, but, you know, let's say if Google or Apple finds out that I'm doing that, you know, then we'll get in trouble with that. So, you know, I have to do peer-to-peer for now.
Yes.
But I don't even think the blockchain is there yet anyways, because put it this way, you can't have reoccurring payments on wallets.
Yes, not yet.
Yeah. It's coming.
Oh, it's coming. It's called something.
I mean, there's some out there.
Yes, there's a new standard. Yes.
I mean, you have to have those wallets loaded, and you basically gotta give a tool permission to withdraw without your permit. I mean, withdraw
Yes.
your click. So it's gonna be one of those things where it's like it's needed, but it's iffy, because I can imagine already, like, a hack. Oh, they hacked.
Yes, exactly.
This tool, and that was how I already see it.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
So,
Can you imagine too, like, if your permission is for like unlimited tokens because it's the subscription, but then it's all balanced.
that's what I'm saying.
Oh
So
my gosh.
we'll get there eventually, but in order to counteract that is I'm gonna do annuals. So instead of doing like a monthly thing, we'll have an annual thing.
That's cool.
Just do it peer to peer. What I want to do is I want to grow. Like right now, like we have over 700 users. I think it's like 750 users now. But or humans. I like to say humans because it's impossible to have a robot in ODAP. Everything is paywalled, so the user subscription is actually what sustains the app. I don't harvest data. You can't screenshot. You can't data extract from it. It's military grade encryption, AES 256, listed across the world, every mobile device, Apple, Google, it's all there. So, we're ready for market, and I feel like, we'll get VC interest. It's hard to find a product or software product.
Exactly.
But
exactly.
Pretty short, the annualization is going to be the easiest way. So I figured what I'll do is I'll grow the community out of the Telegram. Because right now we're 750 users on ODAP. So what I'll do is I'll wait until we get to, let's say every 500 members or something. I'll have something where we do a collective to get these annualized passes done, wallet at a time, peer to peer. And then from there, I'll put those all into one wallet, and maybe we can do something special with that. We could burn them. Like right now, 51% is locked in the smart contract forever. There's no way it could be extracted. The LP is locked for 33 years. Contract's renounced. There's an anti-whale rule on it. Every wallet can't get more than 3%. There's little things there, but and we also have MYC and a pyramid, Illuminati pyramid coded into the smart contract. So that's cool. Like I'm really proud of what we have. Like I really put my soul into this, unfortunately, but I'm very proud of us, and I'm proud of a lot of our people, especially Jesus community too. You guys really touched my heart a lot. I was watching, just a lot of you animals, whether it was from MYC whales, Jesus. I mean, I don't understand it, because I'm like, man, you gotta, guys, we want to scale a token correctly. You don't want to keep ramming it crazy. I hate to be the admin to tell you to stop being crazy. You don't want to continue surging like that because it makes a dangerous environment. You want to have that nice steady growth path. But
that's so true.
I think what it is a lot of people, maybe they see the future of what the pools could be. Especially Jesus. Jesus is already over 500K, right?
I think we're at 900 right now. But split 400K tokens, 400K ETH. Okay,
so that's a lot of money. So mention what this pool is going to be. So like I feel like that experience that they had in Jesus and seeing their percentage of that pool grow as the pool grows, they're seeing that opportunity on this side too, and I think that's kind of why they're in a rush to get their percentage goal or whatever. I own 2%, and there's like 2 or 3 people above me now, and now it's like its own animal.
Isn't that fun though? It kind of takes, like, as soon as you're not the number one holder, it kind of takes all the pressure off of like, oh, I'm not like the biggest, you know what I mean? Like that feels good, but it's hard to do it. Like imagine Vitalik, if Vitalik was like, I'm gonna sell all my ETH. You're like, wait a second.
Wait. He always seems to sell the top.
He does. It's almost as if he is the top. That's almost.
Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. Let's go through some comments real quick. The Crypto Arc says, "Divorce now, make money later." Okay.
Oh wow.
And let's not divorce. No, but Roland and his trusty donkey. Okay, yeah. he's talking about a joke I made with David Schwartz, the Holy Donkey.
Oh,
in
I see.
the Garlic House. Cannabis Outlaws says Maker.Lee is a legend. Jesus is king.
Shout out.
Baby says straight past Uranus. Amazon says, is MYC and Jesus partnering? You know, I don't think there was ever a decision, but I think we just got anointed in it. We just kind of ended up partnering somehow. And, you know, I'm definitely going to be handling the marketing type of department as much as I can, officially and unofficially, you know. I will continue making JPEGs. I really actually like this memes, to be honest with you.
It's fun. It's fun. What are you using? What's your like go-to meme?
I like DALL-E 3 or whatever.
Yeah.
AI being, that's cool.
Yep.
It's free service. Anybody could use it. But yeah, you know, I consider us partners for sure. I mean, I don't think we have a choice. I think like our communities are so well merged now. You know, I see like massive Jesus whales at MYC, and I'm looking at Jesus, and I'm like, yeah, there's a lot of MYC whales. Like Jesus. So you know, I think we are, you know, community partners at this point. We're we had interfinancial intercourse at this point. So. Let's continue. Jesus Coin is the world's first faith-based cryptocurrency designed for I want to say teething, but it's tying donations to the needy and financial freedom. Yeah, absolutely.
That's nice.
Michael Anderson is Chip Skylark. You know, bro, get into the MYC Telegram. I leave a link in every video, and that's a free chat to go there. The CryptoArc says Jesus, Jesus, and Jesus. Let's go. All right.
Yep.
Let's go. So, but for those people that just came in, let's explain the burn again, because 80% of the tokens are going to be, are they going to be sent to a smart contract, or are they going to be sent to the burn address?
Great question. Okay, so currently, the fiasco was, fun fact, actually, I just released a Medium article if you'd like to read about it. I don't know where to actually send links in this, so I'm just gonna not, but.
I would, I'll find it, and then I could post it.
There you go. There you go.
And I'll post it on the website too.
Okay, great. I'm gonna DM it to you while I'm chatting. Okay, so this is the burn. So mistakenly, instead of burning the team allocation and locking the liquidity, I ended up locking the liquidity, burning access to it, so renouncing the liquidity. And then I also ended up burning the team supply and burning and locking. So the issue with the supply burn is like, well, why isn't it already in the burn address? Because it is in a smart contract. The smart contract will unlock on Christmas Day. I don't know what the time is. It's like UTC 8 p.m. or something. Christmas Day, 80% will officially transfer. It will come unlocked out of the timed vault, transfer to the burn address. And that's it. Currently, it's like 34 million.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, you know, that's going to be awesome. I can imagine like crazy surges on the way up to that date too, you know?
It's funny because people ask, they're like, oh, wait, isn't it already priced? Because everyone's like, oh, it's already priced in. News is priced in. So if you go to CoinGecko, if you go to CoinMarketCap, if you go to Etherscan, any site, they give you the FDV. So it's like, well, according to the actual like FDV of this token, like our market cap is like 45 million right now. But it's not.
They actually don't account for the, like, for some reason, and you can even tell them up front. You know, it happened the same way with us. You know, when I was like, hey, you know, we have basically half of the supply trapped in the smart contract. So, you know, that's not the actual coin supplies. They just go based off of the mint.
Yeah,
so, you know,
exactly.
It is what it is, but
exactly.
Still, you know, you're going to get compression, and a lot of people are going to witness that, you know, as we get closer to
exactly.
You said December, what date again? I'm sorry.
Christmas Day, 25th.
Okay,
yep.
Cool.
Yep.
Okay. Yep. His birthday. Let's go.
Jesus' birthday. Yeah. But I literally, it was so long ago, I can't remember if it was on accident, but we'll just pretend like it was meant to be regardless.
So let's talk about Jesus real quick.
Yeah.
The real Jesus.
Oh, great. You'll love it. My favorite topic.
So what is your favorite, or what is your most inspirational part of the Bible, or what's your most inspirational thing, and how how did that relate to you, or for you?
I've always connected with the story of Joseph. So, growing up in a family where wasn't, my dad was in the military, so it's like, we weren't poor necessarily, but it's like very middle of the line, lower middle class, like getting by. It's interesting because you live on an army base, and so there's not really any like class system where it's like the officer housing is slightly nicer and then the enlisted is there.
Yeah.
But everyone's basically on the same playing field. So when I was growing up, this concept of like having big dreams was like, nah, don't do that. So I was connected with Joseph because, he dreamt as a teenager that his brothers and sisters would bow down to him. And then, of course, with zero wisdom, he tells his siblings, and they're like, "What are you talking about, bro? We're not gonna bow down to you." And they sell him into slavery. And then he goes on this journey of maturing in understanding that just because the vision didn't happen right away doesn't mean it wasn't going to happen. And so I think that truly that example of hope and in believing in something and dreaming for something bigger that sounds crazy has always been something that I have struggled with, similar to Joseph, where it's like when I was younger, I was like, I don't understand why nothing is happening. Like I'm like, I could do I could do stuff. And just like learning and growing where it's like, now I'm in my 30s. Now I'm finally to the point of like, oh, so I'm supposed to just like be content in my situation now, knowing that God is in control no matter what. And it will happen in his timing and not my timing. But I'm called to like now to do well. So it's like you see in the story of Joseph, he excels at his job as a slave. He excels at his job as a servant. He excels at his job and ends up being number 2 in control over all of Egypt. Only because his heart posture at the end of his time, he started his dream came true like in his 30s, like 31, 32. And he had it when he was a teenager. So it's like 15 years of nothing, but him just learning to be diligent, learning to be faithful. And that's one of my like go-to things where I'm always like, okay, God, like I got this.
That's awesome, man. Do you have a nice robe or anything like that to match this story?
My daughter has a unicorn robe. But no.
No Versace robe at all or anything?
Not yet. Not yet.
So that is awesome, man. That is a great story. It really is. It is pretty badass. There's so many different Bible stories I like. I could. It's hard to bounce off all of them, but I like the one where like when Jesus went around healing people.
Mm-hmm.
When he went around healing people against a routine, because a lot of people, they congregate or they routinely get into things, because that just happens to be whatever the norm is. It's not that they want to be the norm. It's just like, okay, this is what it is. This is the pattern. So let me be the pattern. And I've always liked how Jesus was so out of routine, and he was not a religious person. He came in as such a rebel.
Huge rebel.
Yeah, and he's like, I'll heal whenever it's time to heal.
Yes.
So that was a really big thing. I love when Jesus, stepped down from, I feel like he steps down from his throne. Steps down. And when he was washing everybody's feet, he washed the woman's feet. I love how the disciples were like upset that he was washing. The feet of this woman.
Yes.
And they have all these judgments about who's worthy, who's worthy of grace, and Jesus, supposed to be the king, comes down and washes us. So that was a huge story for me. I've always loved that part, as a leader, in anything that you do, you want to be charitable and you want to lead by example, and lead with abundance. It's so important to lead with abundance, because I think when I say abundance, I don't mean wealth, but you lead with that spiritual conviction that everything will be provided.
Yes.
That is powerful.
That's a game changer. And like truly, I mean, we believe in the the battle of good versus evil. So it's like God, and like if since God exists, therefore the enemy also exists. So evil also exists. And it's like that concept of letting him, I don't know, like just let him do it is tough. Is tough. And also realizing that truly like we're called to like put on the armor, like go hard. This is like aggressive. Like you got to do it, and it takes getting out of the norm and getting out of your comfort zone to go
do whatever.
To do it. Yeah, exactly.
No, man, I understand, like 100%. All right, so here's a good question. All right, so let's step out of Jesus for half a second. Is there any conspiracies that you saw, or anything that you saw from our side, or any conspiracy at all that ever tripped you out?
Talking just like general conspiracy theories.
It could be general, you know, or anything that you saw from us, anything like that. As long as you don't get in trouble.
I mean, this is probably not. I'm gonna say no comment. I'm gonna say no comment. I'm gonna say no. There's this meme. There's this video where they like it's a reporter who's trying to get these two rappers to get canceled, and he's like basically like grilling them with these hard questions, and every single time they keep deflecting, and then at the end of it they finally slip up once, and they're like, okay, great, that's the quote. Leave it out. We're good. I don't know. Do you mean conspiracy theories in regards to like Jesus going, or are you saying just like worldwide conspiracy theories?
No, we're not to Jesus. I mean, there's no conspiracy with Jesus.
I don't know.
That's the truth, the light, and the way, my brother. But
okay.
What I'm saying is, in general, like 9/11, or.
Okay, I'll say this. I'll make a statement. Here it is.
And this could be for entertainment, hypothetical, content.
Well, I've always been very proud to be an American from like birth through probably, mid-20s. And then COVID happened. And all of a sudden, I questioned things. And then once that happened, now I'm hearing voices tell me other things. And so, yes, do I have an opinion on notable events that have conspiracy theories attached to them, such as 9/11, such as the Vietnam War, such as assassinations of political figures? I don't like it. That's what I have to say. I don't like it.
I can imagine you're somewhat of a historian, because you said your dad was in the army, right? Or
yes.
Military. Mm-hmm. So you probably have some sort of sense of historics, right? Like, are you a history buff at all, or?
I enjoyed history. I'm terrible with memorization of anything, facts, names, places.
But you know the generalization of whatever it is.
Exactly. But it's like, growing up, my dad was very conservative. So it's like, the people who didn't go fight in Vietnam were, traitors to the country. Like that's the narrative. Yeah. And then you say like, well, why were we in Vietnam?
Yeah, exactly. It was one of those hoax wars, not that it didn't happen, but like one of those like meaningless ones. Well, yeah. Well, like all of them are pretty much meaningless, but you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. And it's like I pride myself. Yeah, I come from a very long line of military men and women. Like my dad's has 10 siblings, so it's like he's one of 11. 8 of them were in the military, so it's like there's this like familial bond that I have to respect, have to be loyal. But then there's that other part of me where it's like I don't know. My father-in-law asked me today. He's like, there's a rumor there's going to be a draft. What's going to happen? And I was like, first of all, I don't watch the news, so I don't need to hear that rumor.
25, right?
Yeah, I'm over 25.
Oh, you're good. Don't worry about it.
See, that's what I'm saying. That's what I said.
Whippersnappers. You're good.
Exactly, because they're going to go for 18 and 19-year-old. If it gets to the point where they start drafting, because that would be like Civil War status, where you're like 30 or 40 or 50 getting drafted into Yeah, I know, exactly. We have bigger problems. Than if I hypothetically am going to be in the draft. The bigger issue is the world is crumbling down. We're in World War III.
Yeah.
Somebody's that happens when somebody invades the USA. That's when that happens.
Have you ever heard of Event 201?
No. Educate me.
So Event 201 was a pandemic simulation that was released by the World Economic Forum Johnson and Johnson, and a variety of other pharmaceutical industries, including like the Bill Gates Foundation, and they released this basically this simulation of what the world would go through if there was a COVID pandemic. So word for word, name for name, they had this entire simulation of how this pandemic outbreak would be and what the governments would do together in order to get these vaccines out.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then on March 13 of 2020, they had that, national, that emergency broadcast.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So that's for instance, that's a conspiracy that they had created the virus, or they knew that it was there prior, and whatever the case. There's a lot of different, conspiracies around that. But, it isn't the first time they did some sort of simulation with these types of events. They had another event called Crimson Contagion, which is kind of similar. There's a new one that's going to come out, another simulation in 2025 called the SPARS pandemic. And it's supposed to be more dangerous than COVID. It's like an 80% kill rate. So, there's a variety of different things out there that are orchestrated by non-state actors, so these, organizations that get together to shift culture, shift regulations based on theatrical performances by large entities and organizations. So you ever wonder why there's 50 or 100,000 people in one place? You could go to like crowdsondemand.com and you could order 1 million people to go do a performance,
Dang.
Go do a protest or something like that.
Wait, is that a real website? Is this a dark web website, or is that a fake
it's
domain?
not a regular website. It's
That's a real website? Crowds on Demand?
Crowdsondemand.com.
Stop.
And I swear to God. And you could do protest. You could do they charge up to $5 million types of jobs, and you could get hundreds of thousands of people to get things done. And
what is this?
They work for celebrities, elites, all sorts of stuff like that.
Protest? There's a category for protest rallies and advocacy?
Look at it. And, I recommend taking a look at Event 201. That's a pandemic simulation. So the way these non-state actors work, they're a little bit subversive, but the governments work with non-state actors, which are somewhat social mercenaries on a high scale, that they could do things on a large level to convince, general audiences of a particular opinion in order to shift law or shift regulation. A variety of those different things. The Global Health Task Force is a prime example. Pretty crazy, right?
I don't like it. This is what I'm talking about. This is why I said I want an island. I want to go.
Google Event 201 for me. I just want to see your reaction.
Wait, what is it?
Event 201.
Is Google even going to show me anything?
It will. These are all public sites. They're not dark web or nothing weird. They're just regular sites.
What should I do? The World Economic Forum or Johns Hopkins?
Just put Event 201.
Okay. Well, Johns Hopkins is the first one.
Sure. Yeah.
Oh, the exercise. 3.5-hour pandemic tabletop exercise. Okay. 15 businesses. Purpose. When was this? 2019?
They started in 2019 of October, and then the thing happened. And
so what? They went through a roadmap of how to do it, and then they did it.
Yes. All right, here's another good one for you. All right, let's look up IBM Health Pass.
Wait, what is it? IBM?
Yeah, IBM Health Pass. This is basically going to be your mark of the beast, or your QR code that's going to allow you to buy and sell based on your health status. If you're up to date on your vaccines, up to date on different things or what have you. This is kind of like what they prepared us for with like the different masks and the different things that we needed in order to, go board a plane or go to the grocery store, things of that nature. But, there's going to be a digital ID form of things, and it'll have like your health record, and it'll have like a health registration for whether or not you're able to go inside a store or buy something. Your digital wallets will be attached to it.
They did that in Canada, where you couldn't go to the grocery store.
Yeah, so that's another thing there. There's a lot of stuff. I mean, so let's do one more. So Look
I'm
up.
loving this so much. I'm not even gonna be able to sleep.
Do WO slash 2020 slash 060606, and that's going to pull up a patent by Microsoft for cryptocurrency by body activity. So maybe in the future you're going to get a microchip that's going to monitor your body movements, and they're going to pay you based on movement versus paying you by the hour. But this is a patent that is literally the mark of the beast. This is 060606.
Like if you're at your work and you're not moving, you
Yeah,
don't get paid.
yeah, it's kind of like this type of microchip sort of. You take a look at the
And it has the number 606. Are you? This is what I'm saying. Who?
Like, you would think they would have the audacity to switch it up a little bit, right? But they don't. They put it in your face. Like the devil, the Satan, he hides in plain sight all the time. So these are just different things. Like, for instance, they have Baphomet statues at different Capitol buildings. This is the goat creature with breasts, and the devil. They got statues of that thing, in different Capitol buildings. They have abortion clinics that literally promote child sacrifice, that are ran by the Satanic Church. These are all different things that are out there in our own country that are being propagated, or they're, happening behind the scenes, that I feel a lot of people need to know about, So that's kind of where my side comes from, well, I'm a soldier of Christ, but at the same time, a lot of that came with opposing whatever the narrative was. Like, hey, what's this? Why does this exist? Why this is weird. You know what I'm saying? Like,
That's weird.
Yeah, there's a lot of little things like that where you're like, okay, we are really going to be going towards that cashless society. You're going to need some sort of tattoo. You're going to need a barcode. You're going to need a QR code. It's going to be a QR code where maybe it'll be printed on your, something like that.
And they just had those tokenized NFTs come out where it's like it's a unique provenance tattoo, like it's a one of one tattoo. So even if someone does the same design, it can't be different. So it's like blockchain verified one of one.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure they're going to tie a lot of the health stuff to this. Let me ask you. All right, I just kind of like watching your reaction. So, all right. Have you ever heard of the Denver airport?
The Denver airport, I have heard that one. Yes, there's like stuff all under in the murals, and underneath there's like a something right underneath it.
See the big blue horse with red eyes?
I'm gonna type in Denver horse. It's gonna come up. Isn't this like the horseback of the apocalypse or something? The Mustang?
Yeah, basically it's a
Lucifer.
Lucifer. It's a blue horse, and basically blue is plague. It's a horse of plague.
Ah.
So that's what that means. And I'm sure, have you heard of the Georgia Guidestones? Got that?
No,
one?
that one I don't know.
Wow. So the Georgia Guidestones has in every, well, they blew it up. It doesn't exist anymore. They blew it up just last year. There was like an attack on it, and they crumbled it. But
wait, what?
Yeah, there was basically, it said basically commandments on what to keep the earth like, and at the very end of it, it says to keep human population at 500 million in natural order of the world. So basically, it said that population control needs to be at 500 million.
Who made this?
I'm pretty sure the Freemasons made it, because they have a time capsule right outside of it, So you take a look at stuff like that. It kind of reminisces with the climate change agenda. You listen to a lot of the different elites in the World Economic Forum, or Ted Turner, or Bill Gates. A lot of these guys are talking about, not enough land, not enough resources. There's too many people, too much population, a lot of eugenics. So these are all things that I like to discuss, where it's like, hey, maybe you don't believe in divinity, but you should believe in evil, because there is evil out there.
Right.
these are all things that we should all know about, you know.
Closing that window.
Yeah. So, you know, these are all little things that I like to talk about. There's a variety of different eye openers where you'll be like, what is going on? And, you know, I don't show anything that's like dark web or
Mm-hmm.
you know, anything that's like nobody else could get it. These are all public.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, like a lot of people the other day were asking me questions about Joan Rivers calling Michelle Obama a transgender. You know, so these are things that popped up on CNN. The CNN has like entire videos of this woman basically like saying like Obama is dating a guy, basically.
I've heard this. I've heard this one.
And she died. She ended up dying like not too like.
Joan Rivers died from that because she.
I'm pretty sure she died after that on a table. You know, so I think there's like a lot of little things that I like to look into where it's like, man, so, you know, the world out there is way different than you think it is, and we do live in this, you know, illusion. It's all vanity, right? You know, it's all vanity, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So we live in this world that has a lot of theatrics, and until you start digging in a little bit and you start seeing the enemy around you, you know, that's when you're like, wow, this is how real we could be.
Wow.
Yeah. He's like, I'm not going to be able to sleep tonight.
Nope. That's fun. That's great.
I can imagine Maker tomorrow. He's going to be searching up all this stuff.
I love that too. I love that we were like, oh yeah, I know a couple of conspiracy theories, and now I know. Apparently, I know none of the conspiracy theories, and so you educated me on all of them.
I mean, well, I know a lot. You know, like there's a lot of people out there that know a pretty decent amount, but like I'm pretty in the depths. Like I know a variety of different things, study a lot of these things. It's weird to me. You know, I'm a big history buff, so I'm going all the way back, you know, and a lot of our celebrities, you know, a lot of our presidents, they're related.
Right.
You know, blood relations.
Yeah.
Celebrities that are brother or cousins, you know, like there's a lot of shit, you know. Like a lot of people, you know, I was talking to this other guy the other day about Angelina Jolie, and you know, it's like everybody forgot she used to kiss her brother like all the time and walk around with a blood vial, you know, or Kim Kardashian eating placenta, you know, with her, you know, like all of these things where we're like, oh, well, they're just rich. It's just like, oh, because they're rich, it's just, oh, well, it's okay, you know. So I always like bringing these things up to show, you know, we live in two different societies. Like the reality we live in is the theatrics that they give us. Yes. And that's why
that's true.
You know,
that's true.
A lot of these people do weird things and we're just like, oh, well, you know, they're celebrities, you know?
Yep. No, I don't like it. I don't like it one bit. I don't like it one bit. So beach house. So let me just crunch those numbers and that'll be it. Twitter gone. We're out. We out. That's it.
He's like, guys.
That's it for me.
Quitting. I'm out.
Yep. I was like, nah, I'll keep doing it for another 20 years. You know, 50, I'll be done. Nope. 40. I'm done at 40. That's it for me.
Well, you know, it's always awesome talking. We're running on an hour now, but it's always awesome to talk to you. Like whether we're talking about, I mean, personally, I'd rather just talk about the Bible, but you know, I couldn't help myself with you.
Yes,
like,
I hear you.
And I was like, I got to tell you a little bit more.
I know. I opened the door and then you said, opportunity. Here we go. All of them.
Just so you're like, what the hell?
Yeah, it's okay. All good. All good.
Well, look, shout out to Jesus community. You know, love you guys. I appreciate your support. You know, I know that you guys have saw the barrage of missiles from our side into
yes.
You know, so we support you too, and I feel like it's a good synergy. We're both truthers at the end of the day, and you know, I love the fact that we have another excuse to talk about Jesus. You know, it's the token's an awesome token that has fair distribution. You have an LP that's going to be burned December 25th. Yep. So there'll be a lot of compression leading up to towards the end of the year. And then on top of that, guys, don't forget, we have 2 full years from here full of a bull cycle with the dollar crashing. So as the dollar's crashing, your assets are going to be going up. Now is the time to be max bidding all you can and holding to dear life, because the way you react in this market for the next 2 years is going to determine your lifestyle for the next 10 years. So how important this mega cycle will be. Maker, anything else you'd like to share with us before we let you go?
I don't know, man.
He's like blasted. He's like, oh my god.
No, I have nothing. I have nothing. Lock your doors. Lock your doors tonight, people. That's my advice.
Yeah, pray, you know, God bless everybody. Thank you for coming to the show. We'll do it again. We'll have a part 3. How's that?
Yeah.
We'll do this a lot more. I think it's fun. And, you know, thank you everybody for coming. Let me just cut this one real quick and